Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to HGN. So today, in favor of, well, just leaving boredom or other crap like that out of the way, I would like to go ahead and get on to another request that's not as BS as you guys might think. Zero gravity. And I simply would love to talk about this because, after all, the idea of not being able to be weighed down by gravity, it's not really a far-fetched idea. There's many other ways you can simply simulate it. There are a lot of these skydiving wells which have ginormous fans in the floor, and they allow you to propel upwards. They really make you feel like you're going to float. But in terms of which that they actually work, hovercrafts have the same kind of principle. Giant fans happen to be underneath the craft, and what they do is that they simply power on a hovering surface of air, a small layer of air that's situated between the bumper of the craft itself and the ground that it's situated above. But the thing about zero gravity is that whenever you leave a certain planet or other area that can exhibit a large amount of gravity to it at once, you can necessarily feel like you're really floating up in the air. But there actually have been a lot of shocking consequences to this, because muscular atrophy can develop pretty excessively whenever you have no gravity, because if musculature is not going to get itself some exercise or whatnot, that would involve a lot of gravity being pressed down onto it, so this way it can grow and build itself up and repair itself very well. Then, of course, muscular atrophy can be a problem for anyone out there. Of course, when you get back down to Earth, for example, there actually was an experiment done like this. NASA at one point paid somebody 18 grand to sleep on a bed for 70 whole days. That's a long time right there. And by the time the test subject woke up, heart rate started to climb up excessively, and it looked like that this person was going to collapse. And, I mean, that's another big consequence right there, because whenever you don't have a lot of exercise going on because of a lack of gravity or a lack of movement whatsoever that you're putting on yourself, then, well, that's another problem out there. But let's also not forget about the little famous story about the spine stretching outward because of zero gravity. Of course, it's not entirely easy on how to explain this, but supposedly the reason the spine elongates itself like that is because as long as you don't have gravity pressing down on it, like normally when you're on Earth, you got gravity coming down from here, and of course it is pressing your head down hard to the point that your spine itself could actually end up in a bit of disfigurement. Kind of like scoliosis, but it's a more natural-esque way to have spinal problems. But when it comes to zero gravity, you have nothing pressing on you. No force whatsoever. And that's one of the biggest reasons why we got people who are much taller than when they left this planet. But you know what? Might as well just leave it up to them. And as for people like me who are just dying to go out there in space, we only have a lot of time here before space travel becomes more commercial. And I've talked a lot about that, as a matter of fact. There are plenty of episodes you could go and look up on that if you wanted to. But now, if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.